Let's go. I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, got a filled up engine. In my thoughts, obsession. I will not stop, no, I'm never second guessing. I got a God complex. Haters love to hate, but I never feel pressed. Got a lot on my plate, but I never get stressed. I'll take all the pressure like I'm acing this test. Tear it up like I'm Jason. I see the world like it's ready for the taking. I see this place like a game I'm playing. Straight to the bank to collect my payments. No negotiations, it's my way, I was born impatient. And like a damn Freemason, I'll run this nation. They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Hello guys, just doing a review for The Black Phone. Probably a really underrated movie. I didn't really get as much traction as it should have, because when we finally watched it after watching the Mario movie, man, I should have watched it sooner, because it's basically a mixture of Stranger Things and Coraline with what happens in the movie. Because basically there's these kids who end up getting adopted. It starts with basically the Asian kid, Bruce, getting kidnapped because it seems like he was going to have like a big career going forward with baseball. Like he's basically the best in the school. Then he just ends up getting kidnapped by some mysterious person in a van. Yeah. And our main kid is this guy, and he has like a sister who I guess is kind of sidekick, so she can like see things in her mind of what's possibly happening to these kids and stuff, and these black balloons are a huge clue, I guess. And then you just see this guy who ends up getting in the fight and just brutally beats up this bully. Like, man, I don't even show how hard he gets. Yeah. And then they're just, walking home from school. Like, then the next day, I think he ends up getting bullied, but then that's when the kid basically sticks up for him, so they don't bully him. And he kind of learns a lot from him, I guess. They're just good friends. Seemed like they was going to hang out as well too, but then something happens to him. Like, he gets taken next. And a lot of the things that she's visioning, basically, the cops get, thinking like, how does she know all this stuff that only we know? And that's related to like the one who's actually kidnapping the kids. And basically her mother was like sidekick or something. But because of that, her mother died from probably what she was for probably maybe saving someone. And then the dad is just like doesn't want her to be doing those kind of things and kind of punches her for it. So he tries to stop her from doing the things that the mother ended up doing. And yeah, it just gets a bit messed up with how that goes, but yeah. But yeah, basically his friend ends up getting missing, the main character's friend. And then she's kind of praying to God about the things that she's seen and stuff. Yeah, and Robin goes missing, and then you just see the main character ended up with a girl that he likes in chemistry or something. But then he ends up like after school meeting up with the guy who literally ends up kidnapping all the kids. He just takes him, and then for the rest of the movie he's kind of stuck in this basement place. And you just see basically the Purge actor, the dad from the first Purge movie. Like, man, he should have been one of the Purge people, because man, he's more terrifying than any of those Purge characters in the Purge franchise. Like literally the dad, who was the one who's defending his family and dies at the end, ends up being better than any of the Purges we see in any of the movies. It's crazy. Like, he does a really good performance. Yeah, so creepy and everything, man. You just don't know what he's gonna do. He's so unpredictable, and you just seeing this kid trying to get out, but then there's this phone that keeps ringing. And basically the whole point in that is basically there's basically all the kids that died end up winning him and giving him clues to possibly get out of this situation. Yeah. And just all the things that he does to test him as well. Because if he tries to escape, like, because literally sometimes he leaves the door open, and if he tried to escape, he'd end up dead. And then the sister's just also trying to figure out where he is with the visions that she gets to help the cops. Yeah. And I just don't want to spoil anything else if you haven't watched this movie. I definitely recommend you watch it, yeah. because I don't want to reveal how it ends and stuff and some of the other stuff that happens. But yeah, so yeah, just letting you know. So yeah, I'm gonna talk about the ending and stuff obviously when I get to that point. But yeah, I'm just gonna continue. So yeah, he's just basically trying to break out, and basically the room's kind of soundproof, so no one can really hear him. Yeah, so it'd be hard for him to get discovered really. And just all the times he tries to, I don't even know what to say, to be honest. It's just so creepy. Like, it's just so mysterious as well. And you just see him, you know, talking with the kids and stuff, all the ones that died. Bruce, and there's this one Hopper who, man, interesting. And this is like the first kid who ended up, you know, getting killed from this guy as well. Yeah. And basically, if he ever came upstairs when he's trying to trick him, he'd basically end up like all the other kids, you know, killed. Yeah. And he's kind of like a guard, so he doesn't try to escape as well. Yeah. Because probably all the kids try to escape, but without having a proper plan. But since he basically has the assistance of the kids from the dead, you know, he has more of a chance. Kind of like on Coraline, where Coraline gets assistance from the dead kids to help defeat the, you know, her fake mum, yeah, with the you know, the eyes, if you've seen it, yeah. And this just does it in a more cooler way with the kids, yeah. I'd just say they do that kind of storyline better, but also with the Will situation in Stranger Things, it's kind of give that kind of similarities, but possibly done better as well. Like, it takes the best storylines from both of those things and just does it way more better, and that's why I recommend it, yeah. And just how they try to assist him throughout the movie, and just seeing their backstory of how they got, you know, taken and stuff, all the things they was doing before they got taken. Yeah, with Hopper probably being the funniest because he seems like he was a bully, yeah, and it seems like he would have put up a good fight. And then there's this character who just screams Jim Carrey vibes, but it's not Jim Carrey. He's basically someone who's obsessed with finding his kids, but the whole time the kids was literally under his floor in his basement. But his brother is basically the one who's taking the kids, and he has no idea. Like, imagine being so obsessed with something, like a kiss, and then the whole time the thing that you've been looking for was right under your nose, like, man. And when he finds out, he ends up getting killed by his brother. Yeah, I mean, literally had the cops inside, where basically, you know, the main character's being kept. Yeah, and you know, they're still trying to trick him and stuff, but the kids are giving him advice to, you know, stay alive. And he actually gets to a point where he actually breaks out, but then, you know, he ends up, you know, capturing him, yeah. And then she ends up getting more leads to find her brother. Then there's the Hopper character who I was talking about. Like, it's just so funny. Reminds me of the guy from Stranger Things season 3, man. Man. The redhead girl's brother, yeah. Yeah, just have a lot of characters in this, even though most of them are not alive. And then this is the point where it's just like, he's at the point where he thinks he's gonna die, he's not gonna escape, yeah, because he feels like this thing that he basically tries to do was his last chance. But then, you know, his friend who died ends up giving him advice of how to take on the killer at his last stand. Because there's one kid who gives him a clue for the combination, which helped him get out. Then there's the one who basically helped him find a way out, and then there's his friend who helps him be able to finally stick up for himself, like how he couldn't really stick up for those bullies, and then just seeing him actually, you know, with his friend trying to get ready to, you know, fight back. It's just, it's a well done scene, man. It's so good. And then this just reminded me of It, this scene. But then you just see all the dead kids together. It's just, and her getting a big clue of where her brother is. Yeah, it's just so well done. And in this part when he's actually at a point where he realizes this whole time, like, the kid was under his basement, like his brother was basically keeping him under there. And, you know, when he goes inside, he ends up getting, you know, killed by his brother. Just that scene, man. Oof, the CGI is a bit off in that scene, but whatever. And it seems like they've basically found the right house, but basically this house is next door where all the dead kids are, but there's the other house on the other side. So basically he's living in that house, but then he goes to his brother's house to keep the kids there. It's just, how did the neighbors not know anything? Like, that's sus. Like, Oh, they must be brothers, and that's why they live close to each other, because they may be really close or something. It's just there's a lot that would be off if they were my neighbours. Yeah, like, that'd be so off. Then this is the point where he's trying to fight him, and you know, gets a good fighting chance from what he learned from his friend, and basically ends up choking him out. And then you just see all the kids. it's a really cool scene, man. Yeah, it's done so well. And there's the dog there, but he gives him the meat, which, you know, gets advice from someone else, one of the other kids, and you know, he's able to escape, and he's able to reunite with his sister. Yeah. Then when he goes, you know, to school, he's basically known as like the one who stopped like a serial killer, basically. Yeah. And then ends up with the popular girl, not the popular girl, but the girl who he fancied, and it just seems like he has way more confidence at this point. Yeah. And yeah, movie just ends, I guess. But yeah, it was a good film. I enjoyed it. But yeah, such a good film. Probably would give it like, oh man, 8.8 out of 10. Like, it's just the ending could have been a bit better, but it was still a pretty good film. I enjoyed it. Yeah. It's, like, a lot of films like this, like, you'd think they don't really make films like this anymore. Especially with some of the things that happen in this film, with the daughter getting beat up because she's trying to, you know, use her powers to find her brother, but the father doesn't want her to do that, until the point where he doesn't really want to lose his son, so then he actually lets her do it. Just all that kind of stuff. It's done so well, yeah, and some of those things they couldn't really do these days in most medias. And man, it just looks this went under the radar too. Yeah, I mean, probably it was getting promoted a lot, but then people just forgot about it so fast, because people did talk about it, but then it just got forgotten about, where everyone's still talking about Everywhere, Everything, All at Once, because that was just such a good movie, 10 out of 10 film. But yeah, this is a really good film, like, yeah. And I plan to watch it again soon, but yeah, guess I'll just end things here. Hope you enjoyed my review. Appreciate you can leave a like. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.